The opening sequence introduces Rose Daniels, an 8-year-old girl, engaged in a conversation with an unseen entity in the woods behind her house. Her elder brother, Eric, is preparing to leave for university, and the Daniels family has a close relationship with their neighbors, the Waters. Despite the amicable bond between the families, tension exists between Jessica Waters and Eric, hinting at an unresolved conflict. The Daniels organize a farewell party for Eric, and the neighbors join the celebration. Nate Daniels announces Eric's admission to UMW with an academic and athletic scholarship, eliciting excitement from everyone except Rose, who dreads being separated from her brother. Distressed, she retreats to the woods, where Eric finds her next to a tree with their initials, offering reassurance that he'll always be there for her. As evening falls, Eric leaves for rugby practice, leaving Jessica to stay with Rose. In a private moment, Eric confesses his feelings to Jessica, who admits she hasn't changed her mind despite his past proposal. Meanwhile, Rose confides in Jessica about her friend in the woods. Later, when Rose goes missing, panic ensues, and her parents file a missing report. The police find Rose in the woods, bringing relief to her parents, though Eric remains indifferent. Upon Rose's return, Eric notices her unfamiliarity with her surroundings. Concerned, Mary prepares Rose's favorite breakfast, but she refuses to eat, displaying an interest in wildlife shows depicting animals feeding on others. When Mary mentions Rose's best friend, Anna, Rose doesn't recognize her. Worried, Mary suggests therapy, but Nate dismisses her concerns. One night, Eric catches Rose with unsettling expressions and entirely black eyes. Disturbed, he rushes to Rose's room, but she appears normal in bed. Suspicious, Eric believes something evil has possessed her. Another night, he witnesses Rose consuming worms from the garden. Driven by curiosity and concern, Eric ventures into the woods with a flashlight. Sensing a presence, he is startled by Jessica staring from her window. Unsettled, Eric quickly returns home, suspecting a darker force at play in Rose's unusual behavior. In the morning, Eric prepares a regular breakfast of bacon for Rose, who refuses to eat it. When he insists, she reluctantly consumes it but later vomits outside. Observing from the window, Eric chooses not to confront her. That night he attends a party, enjoying drinks and dancing with a girl. Spotting Jessica and an injured Rose on the chaotic dance floor, Eric is unsettled and abruptly leaves. Driving home through a dark, empty road, he is horrified to see Rose in the back seat, leading to a crash. Although he initially finds no one in the back seat, a strange creature runs into the woods, startling him. Shortly after, a police patrol arrives, and Eric is detained for drunk driving and speeding. Nate bails him out, and Mary is upset by his irresponsible behavior, unaware of the underlying issues. Meanwhile, Jessica, attempting to distance herself from Eric, feels uneasy during a dinner invitation. She eventually walks away, isolating herself in her room in the following days. One night, Eric, using binoculars, sees Jessica preparing to harm herself. Panicked, he rushes to her place, waking her parents. Upon seeing Jessica in distress, she is taken to the hospital. Dan, bewildered by his daughter's drastic actions, talks to Eric, inquiring if he knows what's troubling Jessica. Eric denies knowledge, attributing their distance to separate peer groups when Dan probes the reason for their strained relationship, choosing not to disclose the details of their connection. Returning home, Eric locks himself in the bathroom, haunted by unsettling visions of Jessica and Rose. He later looks through a photo album, recalling fond memories. Mary informs him of her and Nate's upcoming work trip and asks him to look after Rose. The next morning, Eric confronts Rose, convinced she is a malevolent being. Rose's eyes turn black as she claims to want nothing but senses Eric's desire to kill her. Grabbing a kitchen knife, Eric is startled when Jessica appears outside, staring at him with hatred. In a fit of rage, he pushes Rose and yells at Jessica before retreating indoors. In the shower, Eric screams out his anger and decides to end things by killing Rose. Breaking into her room, he finds sketches of a creature and a familiar spot in the woods. Armed with a spade, he uncovers Rose's buried hand, revealing that he had murdered her and hidden her body. The possessed Rose appears, exposing that she witnessed the crime. The entity, assuming a dangerous form, refuses Eric an easy death, opting to torment him with memories. A flashback reveals the night Eric assaulted Jessica, and Rose, witnessing it, ran into the woods. Eric manipulated Rose, leading to a chase resulting in Rose's death. Jessica, unable to express her humiliation, behaved strangely. In the present, the creature reveals the truth to Jessica, who calls the police. The final scene depicts Jessica assaulting Eric with a spade as the police arrive to arrest him.